So, right. So today's class we're supposed to be discussing, as I told you yesterday, we're supposed to be discussing lot sizes. Right. So today's class may not be as lengthy as hold on. Today's class may not be as lengthy as the other two classes. As I said, because we are discussing what lot size is. So we've been able to cover reasonably. Sorry. We've been able to cover reasonably. We've been able to cover reasonably the other part of the classes, right? We've been able to cover the other parts of the classes, so I'm just going to go ahead and share. I wanted to share my, what's it called? Whiteboard. I wanted to share the whiteboard. Okay, cool. So I think I shared the whiteboard now. So once you see my board, please say something. If you see my board, please say something. When you see my board, please say something. When you see my board, please say something.
We can see your board, sir.
Amazing, amazing.
We
So
can see your board.
last night, I told you guys how we calculate pips, and then I remember that I said something about pips being the standard unit of measurement, right? Which means, for example, if Euro USD, now let's just pick a random currency pair, or Euro GBP, right? Let's say Euro GBP moves from 0.8675, right? If Euro GBP, now usually, I also hope that you guys are able to download the MT4 and MT5s. I also hope you guys are able to download the MT4 and MT5 as well. So if you were to check your MT5, okay, let me share that. Let's do that first. Let's do that one first. I want to show you something, how we calculate the pips, right? I'm going to show you how we first of all calculate the pips. I'm going to show you how we calculate pips, and then thereafter we're going to go into lot sizes. So um so who sees my chart? I want to believe that you see my chart now. I want to believe that you see my chart now. I want us to pick a random currency. Now, feel free, you can always use the chat box just in case you don't want to unmute your mic. You can always use the chat box. Anyone works for us. You can always use the chat box as well, just so that I know that we're following and we're together. Okay. So now, as you can see here, on this guy now, this is the current price, 1.17199. Now, regardless of the currency at all that you're trading, the one thing you must know is that this last digit here, 9, we call it the pipette, right? Regardless of the currency. Now, in all these currencies, in all these long list of currencies you see, everything that counts as the last digit, you will notice that it is looking like a superscript. Do you understand? While all the other ones are full digits, there's something that is looking like a superscript. Do you get what I'm saying? It's looking like a superscript in all the currencies. Why? It is called a pipette. Now, what is a pipette? A pipette is a fraction of a pip. And we told you that a pip is how we measure price movement in Forex. Now, a fraction is a pipette is a fraction of a pip. Now, what that means is this. I know that most of you open your bank balances now, right? Let's use very hypothetical scenarios. You're hardly going to have 100 naira zero kobo. You have maybe 100 naira 20 kobo, 100 naira 30 kobo, 100 naira 54 kobo, 1 million naira 20 kobo, 10 million naira 60 kobo, something like that, 10 billion, 300 and something million, 300 and something thousand, something kobo. Now, the way kobo is to naira, that's how this pipette is to pips, right? Which means this particular thing that you see as a superscript is not up to one pip. That's why suspending. It's not a full figure, right? So when you see 06142, this 142 is like telling you that, oh, we are 0.8 pips away from making it to 1.5. Like to making this into 2.0615. Do you get what I'm saying? So this thing is like kobo. It's like saying, 100 naira, 50 kobo, 100 naira, 30 kobo. But even if you decide to ignore the kobo in calculations, the difference that the kobo can account for cannot be up to 1 naira or be more than 1 naira. Do you understand? Cannot be up to or more than 1 naira. So for example, if I have $50, 50 kobo, right? $50, 50 kobo, and then another person has $50 and 50 naira, 90 kobo, right? Okay, it can be up to 1 naira, right? Now, this is 50, this is 90. So this is going to be what? 4, right? This is going to be what? 100 point what? 100 naira. Okay, 101 naira now, sorry. That math is bad. So it's going to be what? 101 naira, 40 kobo. So at best, what this kobo is accounting for is what? 1 naira, 40 kobo. The difference is not entirely always significant. Do you understand? The difference is not always significant. So I think the best now that can happen in terms of this kobo now is that the kobo is going to account for, it cannot account for more than um um maybe 1 naira 99 kobo. That's the best because the kobo plus kobo cannot give you 2 naira. Highest kobo is 99. 99 plus 99 is still going to give you maybe 1.99 something. Do you get what I'm saying? 1.8. So like it cannot give you 2 kobo. So the same thing with the pipette. It is a fraction of a pip. So its significance sometimes can be overlooked. Do you get what I'm saying? So in calculating pips, sometimes or we seldom ignore this pipette, this last digit. We seldom ignore it in calculating pips. So now, which means if price moves from where it currently is at 17.19, for example, and then maybe price moves down to what? 16.19, 16.19. Now, all you need to do is to just do normal subtraction, right? 1.1719 minus 1.1619. That's all you need to do. That's how we calculate pips, right? So the assumption is that what price moves from here, where it currently is now. Let's reduce the price of where it currently is. 1.1719. Watch how I've ignored this 9. Watch how I've ignored this last 9, right? I've ignored that last digit. So now let's say price has moved from, in fact, let me not use current price so that doesn't confuse us. Let me just use these two prices. One price moved from 1.1704, as you can see here, 1.1704 to 1.1690. So how many pips would we have moved then? Simple. All you need to do is just what? Subtraction. The time you even start to do it with your head, right? So 1.1704, right? And then 1.1690. That's what? 14 pips. That's what it is. It's 14 pips. Because if you had now, because this one and this one is the same thing, we can easily knock it out. This 1.1 point, we can knock it out. Right. So if we do 1704 minus 1690, we're going to be having 14. So it means that the distance between this point here and this point is what? 14 pips. Do you get what I'm saying? The distance between this point and this point is 14 pips. Do we understand it? If you understand it, it's just normal subtraction. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just normal subtraction. Let's do another example. This time I want you to give me the answer. So let's say I was trying to calculate the distance from this low to this point here. Now, this is the price that it is now. Let's say, for example, I entered here, right? I took a buy at this price at 1.16298. You can ignore the 8, of course, which is what the pipette. And now the market is here, right? So I don't want to know how many pips I've captured inside of this zone. Can somebody help me? Can anybody help me? Can anybody help me?
Please come back again. I'm sorry, I just joined this now. Please
Okay,
come back.
all I'm saying is this. We are calculating pips, and I said it's just normal subtraction, right? So let's say price was here at point A, and I entered a buy from point A here at 1.1629. Now 1629.8, but I'm ignoring that 8. Why? Because the 8 is the pipette, it's a fraction of a pip, it's not up to 1. Right, so I can just use 1629. And then the market has now moved to this new price, which is what? 1.1704. So I'm not saying how many pips would I have caught if I was on a buy from this point A here to this point B here. How many pips would I have caught? Which would be what the difference between these two prices. So can anybody help me? How many pips would I have caught? How many pips would I have caught? I just need you guys to answer so that we're sure that we're following. So that I'm sure that we're following. Anybody wants to give me an answer?
Please come again.
Okay, I'll come again for the last time. We are saying PIP, right, is the standard unit of measurement of price movement, right? So when price moves from point A to point B, for everywhere on this chart, there's price on it. Like, look at this my cursor now. Everywhere I take this my cursor to, if you look at this point, you see that there's a price attached to it that is changing everywhere I move this cursor to. So everywhere on your chart, there's price to it. You can see to the, left, right of my screen. You can see to the right of my screen, which is here. Now, I'm not saying let's first of all know how to calculate this thing, right? Before we now start looking for, how to calculate its dollar equivalent. So I now mentioned to you, I said it's somehow normal subtraction. Again, don't get it twisted. Normal subtraction. So I'm saying assume, right, that I bought this Euro USD at this price here, price A, right? And what is that price? 16.29. I'm ignoring the 8. Why? Because the 8 is the pipette, it's a fraction of a pip. So I can ignore it. So let's say I entered buy at 16.29 and that market was able to rally as it did, right? Up until this point. Let's say I exited that market at this point, which is what? 17.04. So I'm not asking how many pips would I have banked? How many pips would I have made trading from point A to point B? 75 pips. Yakwere, thank you. 75 pips. So I'd have made 75 pips from this single move, right? Now, that same mathematics is the same with every other pair. Maybe aside gold, right? Aside gold. But that's how you know how many pips you've captured. So in this class today, now, what I'm ultimately trying to teach you is that 75 pips now that you have captured. The honest truth is 75 pips is not money. Like you cannot go to the market and spend 75 pips, right? You can't spend 75 pips. So the next thing that we're asking ourselves, when we say we capture 75 pips, the big question is now, what does that 75 pips translate to in actual dollar? Because that's the one that we can withdraw and spend. So that's the one that we really care about. Do you understand? This 75 pips now, how many dollar is it? So that I'll know how much I have made or what I can buy. This 75 pips, is it enough to buy me Lamborghini or is it money for dinner? Right? So that's where the next topic of lot size comes in. But before I go to lot size, again, I want to be sure, do we now understand the calculation of these pips? Do we understand the calculation of these pips before we move to lot size? Please give me your responses. Do we understand the calculation of pips? Do we understand the calculation of pips before we move to lot sizes? Esther said no. Any other person is finding it hard to calculate? Any other person that doesn't understand, just drop no or yes in the chat box so we'll go over it again if you don't. Do we understand the calculation of pips? Richie said no. Okay. The nose, Ayotola said no, the nose have it. Okay. Let's go over it one more time. Now, this is exactly why I wanted to do this particular one for just today, because I understand that, the moment it becomes mathematical, it can be a bit tricky, but I promise you it is easy. All right. It is easy. Now, we're saying that if you look to the left of my screen now, you can see here that everywhere here, there's price attached. So first of all, there's price attached to, look at this cursor. Once I begin to hover this cursor, you can see this price here, right? You see this price, there's price everywhere on the screen, changing prices. Okay, like everywhere on this screen, there's price, there's price, there's price. So yesterday I told you, I said when this market moves, right, we measure the market movement in pips, right? It's the same way I said when somebody wants to tell the time, they tell it in AM or PM. When somebody wants to tell distance, they tell it in what? Kilometers. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's how if we want to measure, movement in Forex, we measure it in what? Pips. Oh, this market has been moving to the upside since we will not say by how many kilometers has the market moved. We will say by how many pips have this market moved. Do you understand? So we're not going to say how many kilometers. How many pips, by how many pips did this market make this move? right? So have we moved 100 pips? Have we moved 200? Have we moved 50? Have we moved 10? Right? So I'm not teaching you how to calculate pips. I'm not saying when you look to this, right, you can see that there are prices everywhere. Now, the pip is just the difference between, the point in price of A and the point in price of B. So for example, now take for example that I took a buy, right, at this point here. Now, I now use this rectangle to put price. I just want to attach a price to it. Now, the price attached to it here is what? 1.16118. Now, the reason I'm ignoring the 8, I hope you understand that one. I said it's because that 8 is a word pipette. And what is a pipette? It is a fraction of a pip. A pipette is the same way you have kobo in Naira, right? So if you have, 1,000 Naira and 80 kobo, and somebody asks you how much do you have, I'm sure that you would 9 out of 10 times forget to mention the kobo. Do you understand why? Because the kobo is also a fraction of the Naira. It's a fraction of the naira. You're going to need 100 of those to be able to get 1 naira, right? So that's how the pipette is here. So I'm saying usually, most times, often than not, we ignore this last digit. Do you understand that? I'm saying most times, often than not, we ignore that last digit because again, it's the word pipette, right? So I'm not saying, imagine that I took a buy from this price point A, which is what 1.1611. And then maybe because I took a buy and the market was favorable, we started buying and it bought up to this point and then I came out of the market at what 1.1702. Now, if you now want to know the distance or the number, like what we ask ourselves is how many pips has it moved, right? From my entry to this point, by how many pips has the market moved? That's what we're asking ourselves. By how many pips has the market moved? Now, how do we get that? We simply just subtract this from this. And I'm saying because this last digit is the pipette, you can easily knock it out. Because at the end of the day, the difference that it would account for, right, is not as much. Do you understand what I'm saying? The difference
Sure.
that the difference it would account for is not as much. Are we together? Do we understand that far?
Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
Understood.
Good. So I'm now saying it's just normal calculation, right? It's just normal addition and subtraction. Please give me a minute. Hold on. Let me just pull up the slide again. Hold on. Okay, okay, I'm with you. So I'm saying it's just normal addition and subtraction. Okay, so you can just now, ignoring this last digit, which is this 2 and this 8, we can just do a normal subtraction, right? Of this 1702 minus 1611. Okay, 1702 and 1611, right? So when I know the difference between this price here and this price here, I can now say that's the number of pips that we have captured. So does anybody want to try now? Help me with that math. This 1702 minus this 1611. What did I do? I knocked out this digit. I know you're asking me there's 1 point here. 1 will eventually minus 1 is will become 0. Do you understand? That's why I just use 1702 and 1611. It's normal subtraction.
Ṣé kò sọ fún náà?
It's normal subtraction. So does anybody now want to try? Do you now want to try? Now do the subtraction of 1702 to 1611 and tell me what you get. Anybody wants to try? Please, especially the people that didn't get it the first time. Please, I urge you guys to try this time. Try. Let me know your answers. Let me know your answers, please. Try, try, try. Try. 91 pips. Thank you, Esther. Now you've gotten it. So it means that the distance, like, the distance between this point A that I entered it by, right, and this point B that the market eventually go to is what? 91 pips. That's what I captured. That's what I captured, 91 pips. That's what I captured. Now, and I also told you that even though I captured 91 pips, we all know, sorry, we all know that pips in itself is not a currency, right? Which means the question that we're now asking ourselves is, how do we now ascertain how much we have made when we capture 91 pips, right? So the main math is not even here in um calculation of pips. The calculation of pips is simple, it's just normal subtraction. Right? The main math is now in lot size. Now it is the lot size that you use that now determines what this 91 pips becomes in dollar. Do you understand? Now determines what this 91 pips becomes in dollar. So that's what we want to do today now, lot size. So that's why you hear some people say some things like, 50 pips can mean different things to different people, right? It's just because they know that different people will use different lot size for the same trade. Do you understand what I'm saying? For the same trade, right? For the same trade, we would all use different lot sizes depending on what? Number one, our account size. So you that you have $100 now, the lot size you may use will be different from the lot size of somebody that has $1,000 we use. So there's always theory that, that same 50 pips, that same 91 pips can mean different things to different people, though, depending on the lot size that each and everybody decides to use. So it is that lot size now that we want to try and understand today. Do you get what I'm saying? Is that lot size now that I'm saying, okay, let's understand what is, when we say lot size, what do we really mean? Right? So now, as I've told you, lot size is what gives the dollar equivalent, like lot size is what gives a dollar worth to the number of pips that you caught or lost. Do you understand? Because of course, on the days where you also take a loss, the lot size that you use determines how much you take in monetary value. Do you understand me? Determines how much you take in monetary value. So before we move forward, are we now clear on that explanation of pips? Can I say confidently that we now understand? Is it safe to say that we understand, calculation of pips? Is it safe to say that we understand? Please give me responses. Understood. Amazing. Now, sometimes different currencies can come in different forms, right? For example, like you can see, okay, GBP is the same. Look at GBP JPY, for example, right? Um Now you can see that the price is different. The exchange rate is not like that one that had 1 point. This one is what? 199.13. Now, this the same. We ignore the last digit and we do the subtraction the same way we did it the first time. The same way we did it the first time. No, there's no different one for any different currency. The same way we did it the first time. The only times I know that this might not work is maybe on asset classes like gold, right? There's going to be a way to calculate that one that I'm going to show you much later. Okay. So now let's move to lot size. So the lot size now is saying, now that you have cut 90 pips, you have cut 50 pips, you've cut 91 pips. How much have you really made? Like, what's the dollar equivalent of that 91 pips that you said you make today now? That now brings us to the topic of lot size. And then I told you that lot size is the one that, you know, um, apportions, that gives dollar equivalent to whatever it is that you make or lose. Now, lot sizes in general start from 0.01. Right? 0.01. That's what lot sizing stand for. That's where they start from, 0.01. Now, what does the 0.01 lot size mean? The 0.01 lot size means that for every time the market moves, right, even by a single pip, like every time the market moves one single pip, right, that one single pip movement is equivalent to what? 10 cents. It's not 10 right though. 10 cents. Do you understand what I'm saying? So every time that this market moves one single pips is equivalent to what? 10 cents. Using this what lot as of 0.01. Now, what this means is by the time the market moves, now at this point, you can unmute your mic because I'd like to hear, as I'm talking to you, I'd like to hear feedback. In case it's becoming tricky, just let me know. Okay. So now, if the market moves one pip, you make 10 cents or lose 10 cents, depending on if the market moves in your direction or against you, right? Market moves to 20 cents. The market moves 3, 30 cents. The market moves 4, 40 cents. The market moves 5, 50 cents. And like that until we get to 90 cents, and then the market moves 10 pips, and then we would have made what?
$1.
Thank you, which is what? The same as 100 cents. If there was anybody that wanted to say 100 cents, you're not wrong. But it's like saying 100 kobo. Nobody would say 100
Yeah.
kobo. Why? Because you know that 100 kobo makes 1 naira. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you know that 100 kobo makes 1 naira, we're not going to say 100 kobo, we're just going to say 1 naira. And that's how it is here again, right? So it means that now this is the assignment. We're going to be doing it together. Oh. You guys should not run anywhere. Oh. So if this here now 0.01 lot size means every 1 pip the market moves is 10 cents. Remember that we said we caught 91 pips on that particular pair. So now that we've caught 99 pips, can anybody try to tell me how much that 91 pips will now be in dollar using 0.01 lot size? Can anybody at all try? Can anybody at all try? Ah, if you get it, I'm going to be happy. Oh. You know, of course, I know that I took a leap because I haven't done this. I should have started with like 10 pips, 20 pips, but you know, we just went to 91 direct. So me myself, I know that we took a leap. But does anybody want to try? Does anybody want to try? The group is awfully quiet. Does anybody want to try? Is anybody trying? $9.10. Oh my days. Esther is on fire. Exactly. $9.10. Now, can you see now that the lot size that we use is what now determines how much we make? So because we have used 0.01 lot size, this 91 pips has translated into what? $9.10. Now, does everybody understand how we arrived at this, or do we have to break it down again? Please let me know. Do you understand how we arrived at this, or do you want me to break it down again? You only get this
Understood.
class once. Understood. You only get this class once. So please, if you don't understand, tell me now. This class is not something we're going to do next week again. No. Shadri said not
Under-
yet. Cool. Okay, so let's run it again. Now,
Since,
for the sake of Shadri, we'll run it again one more time. Now, this is what we said. We said
since
the
1 pip is equals to 10 cents, then
yes, yes, 1 pip is
that is
10
90,
cents.
that is 90 that 90 pips equals to 9 cents. No, 90 cents equals to
Nine,
9 pip.
yes, 9 pips is 90 cents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Now, we're talking of 91. So if 1 pip is 10 cents, 10 pip is $1, right? 20 pips $2, 30 pips $3, 40 pips $4, 50 pips $5, 60 pips $6, 70 pips $7, 80 pips $8, 90 pips $9, right? So now we now had
yes,
91, which means what? $9.10 because 1 pip is
10
initially what?
cents.
10 cents.
10
So for
cents.
Shadri, let me run it again. What we said is when we use the 0.01 lot size, right? What we are just saying is this: every pip that the market moves, right? You get or you win or lose 10 cents. Now I'm saying win or lose because if the market moves, 1 pip against you, then that's minus 10 cents. If market moves 1 pip in your favor, that's plus 10 cents. But any which ways, the 10 cents is what? Constant, right? Using this lot size. So this 0.01 lot size is your least lot size. And it is a 1 pip, 10 cents lot size. It means every time the market moves 1 pip, you make 10 cents, right? Or you lose 10 cents. So if the market moves 2 pips, that's 20 cents. 3 pips, that's 30 cents. 4 pips is 40 cents. 5 pips is 50 cents. 6 pips, 60 cents. 70 pips, 70 cents. Right? And then I know you want to say you know, of course, just say 70 pips, 70 cents. 7 pips, 70 cents, right? 8 pips, 80 cents. 9 pips, 90 cents. 10 pips, 100 cents, which is equivalent to what? $1. So for every 10 pips now, using this list lot size, which is 0.01, you make $1 on every 10 pips. So we now calculated before that, oh, that move we calculated from point A to point B was 91 pips. So we now said if we know that for every 1 pip we have here, we make 10 cents. If we've not been able to make 91, how much would we have? Right? How much would we have? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, let me give you the math. The math would just be what? 91 pips multiplied by what? 10 cents. That's mass. 91 pips multiplied by what? 10 cents. Why? Because this lot size says for every one pip we move, we make 10 cents. That's the rule of this lot size of 0.01. Shadu, did you get it now? Shadu,
Yeah,
does it makes sense to you now, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So now this is just one lot size, right? Now, lot size list continues like that. Up until now, the next one that we have is what? 0.02. And now, can anybody try? At 0.02, one pip will be equivalent to what? How many cents? Can you take a guess?
20.
Thank you. 20 cents. So for every one pip we move here now, we are making or losing 20 cents. So if we move two pips, it becomes 40 cents. We move three pips, 60 cents. Four pips, 80 cents. Five pips, 100 cents, which is what? $1. So while it took us 10 pips to make $1 on 0.01, we only need 5 pips to make the same $1 on 0.02, which means that 0.02 is a higher lot size than 0.01, right? So if you now capture, for example, you now capture another 91 pips using 0.02, what would you do again? 91 times 0.20. Why? Because I'm using 0.20 as in one pip is standing for 20 cents. Right? So it's like 91 pips times what does one unit of pip stand for? 20 cents. So what can anybody now tell us what it will now give us? Now 91 pips using 0.02 lot size. What would now be the figure? What would now be the figure? 91 pips 0.02 lot size. I already have my answer, but can anybody just try? 91 pips using 0.02 lot size. Now what would be our figure?
That's hold on. Please come back with the question.
We said the same 91 pips, right? That we caught the
Okay,
first time. But this time we're now using 0.02 lot size.
okay.
Okay, I see the chart. Esther, thank you. Would have made
91.
$18, 20 cents. You can finish your calculation. Just be sure that, just to be sure that we're getting the same thing. Esther, you are
$18.
correct. $18.
$18.
Yes,
That's
$18, 20 cents.
18.2.
Thank
$18 20 cents.
you. Active. And now una come. You guys are correct, right? $18, 20 cents. Now, you know that the first time when we used 0.01, what we made was what? $9, 10 cents,
Yes.
right? Now we are now making what? $18, 20 cents. Do you know what this means? That what we are making using 0.02 is times two what we made using
Of
0.01.
yes.
Now, this means that the higher your lot size, the more money you stand to
The higher
make
unit.
or lose. Do you understand me? The higher your lot size, the higher your profit or loss. You see why I said these 91 pips can now mean different things to different people? Because now, all of us can, capture 91 pips in the market, but how much you make will now depend on the lot size that you used. Now, the lot size you will use will also depend on the capital that you have. Do you understand? The lot size you use will also depend on the capital that you have. That's another thing. Lot size used will depend on capital that you have, which means that if you have $10, I don't expect you to be using one very ridiculous lot size. You use the one that your account size carries. Now, again, this lot size list continues. There's now going to be 0.03, right? Where one pip will now be what? Can anybody try? One pip will now be what? On 0.03, one pip would be what?
0.020.
Like when we are using
30 rather.
0.30 what?
0.30. 30 cents.
Exactly. So one pip will be 30 cents, which is $0.30, right? So one pip will be 30 cents. So now what that means is that by the time we continue, if one pip is 30 cents, two pips will be 60, three pips will be 90. Four pips now will be 120 cents, which is also what? $1, 20 cents. And then the mass continues. So if we have to capture the same 91 pips using 0.03, what we'll be making will be what? 3 times what we made
Times
using
3.
0.01 exactly. That will not be what? Let's say you capture the same 91 pips using 0.03. Please, you guys make me happy. Please get this one. 91 pips using 0.03. Make me happy, please.
91 times 3, that is 2.
Esther, you always
And
deliver. I'm checking the comment section.
91
I'm
times
checking the
3.
chat box. Oh,
270, 270 pips, 30 cents.
you're correct.
87.3.
Yes. Esther missed it by 30 cents, but you're almost there, Esther. Just recalibrate a little bit, right? $27.30.
30
$27.30.
cents. I got
Yes,
it.
you guys are correct. Yes. Yes. Esther said $27.60. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Right? But you get the picture. So now the higher the lot size you use, the higher the money you make. So sometimes the beauty of Forex is that you're able to use a high lot size. So that when they're 91, now the same way we are calculating it, guess what? This lot size continues. Oh, there's 0.04, there's 0.05, there's 0. Now when we get to 0.09, that's what 1 pip is what 90 cents. Do you understand? 0.09, 1 pip is 90 cents. Then after that, we now from this 0.09 now. That's my brush. After this 0.09, the next thing we go to is what? 0.10. Now you know at 0.09, we said 1 pip is what? 90 cents. Right? 1 pip is 90 cents. Now at 0.10, 1 pip is what? 100
10 cents.
cents, which is $1.
100 cents.
Exactly,
$1.
which is $1. Do you see the progression? So here now, right? If 1 pip is $1, 2 pips is $2, 3 pips is $3, 4 pips is $4, 91 pips, $91. The same 91 pips that gave us $9.10 in the first place. Can you see how it has metamorphosed into $91 now? Why? Because we use the higher lot size. Now, again, I'll repeat it. The lot size that you use is usually and should always be a function of your account size. If you have a small account and you use a big lot size, that is a show of greed, right? And guess what? There are times when you might be lucky, but let it be known that what you wear was lucky. Do you understand? Let it be known that what you wear was lucky. And if you are not lucky, and if you don't get lucky enough, the market will blow your account. Why? Because you've used the wrong position size. So because you've used the wrong position size, the market can easily blow your account. So there's going to be a class, I think, for intermediate students where we now teach them, the right position sizing to use per account. Now, there's going to be certain generalistic rules, right? They'll tell you that if you have $100, then just stick to 0.01 to 0.03 and all that stuff. But those rules are just they are ground rules per se, but there has been a lot of modifications such that even though you have $100, you can be using 0.10 self depending on how many pips stop loss your setup is. I explained stop loss yesterday. I hope that you guys have not forgotten. I hope you guys have not forgotten because I explained stop loss yesterday. Right? So now, after the 0.10, what do you think is the next lot size? Can anybody try? What do you think is the next lot size after 0.10?
0.11.
Thank you, Shadri. Thank you. Don't let us not skip to 0.20 or 20 immediately. We have 0.11. And at this 0.11, 1 pip is going to be what? What would be the value of one single pip? Anybody wants to try?
$1, 1 cent.
$1.
$1, 1 cent.
Try again. You're
1
almost
cent.
there.
$1, 10 cents.
Thank you.
1.1.
Not 1 cent, 10 cents. $1, 10 cents. Right? Because this 0.11 is a combination of what? 0.1 and 0.01. Do you understand? It's a combination of these two lot sizes. So now, at this point now, every single pip we move. right, is accounting for what? $1.10. So far, so good. Are we clear?
Sure.
So far, so good. Is everybody okay? If we've lost you along the way, just I want to say wave your hand, but we'll not see you. Just say something. If we've lost you along the way, just say something. Just say something. Let's know the bus stop that you dropped. If you've lost you along the way, say something. Let's know the bus stop that we dropped you. Nobody's saying anything. So I want to believe that everybody understands. It would make me so glad if we did. But if you don't, clear and perfect, amazing, amazing, amazing. And even if you don't understand, right, and maybe you don't just want to say something in this class because sometimes you don't want it to look as if you're the only one that is not getting it. Worry less. The class is recorded, okay? So because the class is recorded, it would be uploaded to the YouTube, so you can always watch and rewatch. Do you understand? You can always watch and watch again, right? So don't allow no pressure. So even if you don't understand now, you can always watch again and then ask your questions later eventually. So the lot size list continues again, 0.20 or 0.20, right? Now, here we have 1 pip, $2, right? And then you know all the things that are going to be in between, 0.21, 0.22, 0.23, 0.24, 0.25, 0.26, 0.27, 0.28, 0.29, and then we go to 0.30, 1 pip, $3, right? Esther, you were not in class yesterday. After this class, the meeting link, the YouTube link would be sent. We've already uploaded the classes, right? So I think after this meeting, we're going to upload today's one as well to the YouTube. So even though you were not in class yesterday, you can go back to watch, yesterday's classes. Don't worry. We did the meeting for you. We held this class for you guys. So I mean, we're committed to making sure that you guys get value. So don't worry. Yes, yes. The YouTube link is going to be shared to the community. I urge us, as we're interacting with the video, please help us like, share, subscribe. Just that little share, like, and subscribe can just be all the push that we need to come up with more content for you. Okay. So now there's 0.20 lot size, right? 0.30, 1 pip $3, 0.40, 1 pip $4, 0.5, 1 pip $5, and the list continues like that. All right. So now, up until we get to 0.9. Now, what does it? Can anybody take it a guess? What would 0.9 be? What would 0.9 lot size be? What would 0.9 lot size be? Exactly. 1 pip will be equivalent to $9. For every 1 pip that the market moves, $9. In fact, this is the one I want us to do. So since we know that 1 pip is $9, let's now calculate the same 91 pips. What would that same 91 pips now be now, using 0.9 lot size? What would 91 pips now be? What would 91 pips now be? Using 0.1 lot size. What would 91 pips now be? Anybody wants to try? 91 pips. 91 pips. Does anybody want to try? If 1 pip is $9, right? What would 91 pips be?
It's 1.8. Sorry,
Huh? What did you say?
it's 1.9.
81.
It's 1.9.
Okay, so we have one answer. It's
0.9.
1.9. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? $910. Anybody else? Anybody else? Anybody else? 0.9. 0.9.
Yeah.
Shadri, that
Nine
was
dollar
you.
$9.10.
No, no, no. The lot size is 0.9. 0.9. Where 1 pip is
Okay.
$9. When 1 pip is $9, what will 91 pips be? Where 1 pip
Okay,
is,
not 0.9. It's just
is
$9, not 0.9.
yes, 0.9, where 1 pip is equivalent to what? $9. Every single pip the market moves is
That's,
$9.
that's
Okay.
809.
800 and
9. Sorry,
819.
18.
Please, please,
819.
please,
Sorry,
Thank you.
819.
Yes. Lincoln, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you should come back with the question again, but
Okay, so I was saying,
you
look
answered.
at the lot size now. We've used these other lot sizes. I'm not saying, let me, so I'm saying let's use this one, 0.9. That's the lot size we're using now, 0.9. And at 0.9, we know that what? One pip is what? $9. For every one pip the market moves, you make or lose $9. Okay? Every one pip the market moves, you make or lose $9. So I'm not saying if we make or lose $9 per pip, we now made 91 pips in that Euro USD that we calculated. I'm not saying how much would this 91 pip be if we had used what? 0.9 lot size here. What would be the value of this 91 pips? Did you get the question now?
819.
Yes.
So now Shadri got the answer. $819. Now, do you see that the same 91 pips that was $9.10 on 0.01, right, is now $819 on 0.9 lot size. So do you see that the trick now is in the what? Lot size. Now, sometimes you might feel the need to want to use, Ferrari type of lot size, but if your capital doesn't carry it and you use it, I promise you, you will have cheerfully donated your money. Like you would have cheerfully donated. In fact, you donate it, the kind of donation that noise come with refund. That's what you would have done. And they will not even tell you thank you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you have low capital, thank you, Esther, $819, you are correct. So if you lower capital, you stick to low lot sizes. Right. So for the intermediate class, we're going to be showing them how to get the appropriate lot size for each trade. Okay. I'll be showing that to everybody in intermediate class. So that's okay, sorry, somebody's mic was echoing. So that's lot sizes. Now after 0.9, the lot size was not stop there. There's still 1.0. Right? Remember that we said 0.9 is what? One pip $9. 1.0 is one pip $10. So we call this the standard lot. 1.0, we call this the standard lot. Every one pip, the market moves $10. Market moves 2 pips, $20. 3 pips, $30. 4 pips, $40. 90 pips, $900. 91 pips, $910. Do you understand? And now, do you know the funny thing is, you see this lot size that we're talking about, it goes on and on and on. There are people in this industry currently that are using 100 lot size. Now, I know that this lot size is a proper travel, but can anybody try and tell me what this 100 lot size will mean? What will one pip be equivalent to? You can just walk away using this. If 0.1 is one pip $1, 1.0 is one pip $10, 10.0 will be what? One pip $100. Then 100.0 would be what? Would be what? Thank you.
$1,000.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
Esther, I see your hand, honestly. So people are using this 100 lots where one pip is $1,000. So by the time you use 0.01, right? And then you catch 91 pips, you make what? $9.10. Can anybody just think of what this person that used the 100.0 will make? The same 91 pips. Don't let it give you a headache, oh. Don't let it give you a headache. Just try. Don't let it give you a headache. If it gives you a headache, just tell me. Where one pip is $1,000. Now they've made 91 pips. How much do you think they would have made? How much do you think they'd have made? Whatever your calculator shows you, that's what you should tell me. You don't think it twice. Just tell me the figure. How much?
9,100.
9,100. Shadri, the problem is that you cannot believe that somebody will make $91,000. $91,000. Yes.
91,000.
It is
Sorry,
You see, that's
91,000.
that's why I told you to tell me what your
91,100.
calculator is telling you, because I know there's going to be a part of somebody that will remove that zero, because
91,000. Yeah.
91K, what they're making is $91,000 from the same trade that gave you what? $9.10.
$9.20.
I'm not in the church. If I was in the church, I'd have said somebody say power. Now, do you see
Hour.
do you see that capital is key?
Mm,
Do you understand what I'm saying? So many times the difference between you and your so-called mentor, right, is of course the fact that they know what they are doing, and number two, the fact that they have capital.
Mm.
Because now there are some of you here now that can, on a good day, you catch 20 pips, 30 pips, and this 90 pips, you catch it. But the day you catch that 90 pips, it's probably shawarma money that you will see. Now, somebody catches the same 90 pips, 91K in the bag, they can go and price house in Lekki. Do you see the difference between the two of you now? You guys took the same trade, entered at the same place, exited at the same place. Yet now they can buy a GLE, but you cannot. Do you understand? Now, am I encouraging you to get capital? I'm saying eventually you need to understand that the business of trading is a business that involves or that would require you to scale up. That's if you want serious money from the business. But before scaling up, know what you are doing. Because the same way we've painted scenario of people making $91,000. If you don't know what you are doing, guess what? You will lose $91,000 for somebody else to withdraw. From the beginning of this class, I've always told you that I'll tell you as it is. And the reason I'm doing that is because if you lose that money, guess what? It does not come to me. Do you understand me? So that there's not a thing that I gain from your own misfortune. Do you get what I'm saying? This is why knowledge is key. This is why you must seek knowledge first of all. Because in fact, I can pull up charts. The thing is, the problem is that even as I'm motivating you, some of you don't know what is possible. Like, some of you don't know what is possible in terms of results. And that's the problem. Like, if you don't know what is possible or what is obtainable in terms of results, it's possible for you to just think, it's for guiding. How do I say it? You can just think it's for guiding. Let me show you something. I want to show you a figure. Now, we've mentioned $91,000 and then it's like, do people really make this money? Right? Now, recently, most of you, if you're active on the Forex space, you guys would have been following one of the popular traders that did, you know, he broke his own record, so to speak. Now, I want to see if I can still get access to that snapshot and then pull it up on the screen for you to see. Now, whether or not you doubt it, it is possible, right? Whether or not this person is faking it, it is possible. And that's what I want you to first of all know, that it is possible. So hold on, I'm going to pull up, I want to pull up a snapshot for you. And in fact, I'm going to put it up on the screen so that I'll put it up on the screen so that everybody can see. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to look for this particular trade. I don't know if this person still has this snapshot or if he has deleted it. Damn it. I think they've deleted this particular snapshot. Have they? Okay, no, they have not. Okay, cool. And let me show you something. Now, this is the one that I can see, right? Even though this person eventually ran a profit that was more. Let me show you something quickly. Sorry. I'm going to put up an MT4 trading results, right? Again, don't overthink the zeros. Just tell me what you see. What do you guys see? How much do you see in floating profits? How much do you see? How much do you see in floating
Ah,
profits? Somebody say, How much do you see
it-
in floating profits?
82,000. I mean, what am I saying? 829,000.
Good. It better not be 82,000. So this is 829, yes,
829,000.
829,558 dollars
Ah,
in now this was in one single trading day. But again, look at the lot size. What was the lot size? 100 lots
100.
twice, 50
100 lots.
lots
Yes.
once, two standard lots, right? But again, what's the capital you're seeing here? What's the capital you're seeing here?
Over 5 meter.
Thank you. That's all I wanted you to see. Now, this is proof that what? Don't use now. If this result motivates you so much, you now carry your $100 and you now use 100 lots on it. If you call me, I will not pick your call. Do you understand? Because I don't use to motivate people to the other side. That's why as I'm motivating you to let you know what is possible, I'm also telling you that look at what is involved. Do you get what I'm saying? So proper equity, proper results. I'm not trying to leave you motivated so that you will not, put your $100 and say go big or go home. No risks, no Ferrari. I know a lot of people that have said go big or go home. As I speak to you now, most of them are at home. So yeah, so that you know what you are doing. You get what I'm saying? So that you know what you are doing, right? So at least now you know what is possible. Now that 829,000 you saw was one single day trading profit. One single day's trading profit. But of course, you also saw the equity. Now, I'm not asking you to go and look for that kind of money. Because in fact, if you had that kind of money, you'd probably be doing a one-on-one class by now. You'd say, oh no, you want the instructor to come and teach you. Maybe we would have the class in Dubai. Right? And if we're having our classes in Dubai, we don't mind. That's the life. Right? So I'm saying, but from wherever you start, you know, learn the appropriate lot size for your account. So we're probably going to drop a general template that everybody can utilize, but for everyone on the intermediate community, we will be showing you step by step how to properly apportion your risk per trade. Do you understand? Because again, the business of trading is a business of risk management. That's what it is. The business of trading is a business of risk management, right? So since we've agreed that sometimes you can be right, sometimes you can be wrong, the most important thing is to make sure that the times you are wrong, you don't lose your account to that one single decision. And the times you are right, you maximize it to make as much profit as you can. Dabla said, please, sir, what is the safe zone? I don't think I understand what you mean. You can unmute your mic and ask me. We're already in question time because we just finished lot size, right? That's now, I think so far so good. I have not seen anybody use 101. So I think 100 is pretty much the highest lot size. I don't think I've seen anybody use 101 yet, right? So I think 100 is as far as you can max out. Do you get what I'm saying? Not even all brokers will allow you to use 100. Not all brokers have that kind of liquidity. Do you get what I'm saying? So, Damola Okpemi, please, you can unmute your mic and say something. I know you were, I don't think I got the question. We're already in question time now. But, talk to me. I don't think I got your question. So talk to me. Talk to me. You asked what the safe zone is. Okay, safe zone as in lot size. Well, I mean, there's a general recommendation where they tell you if you have $100, use between 0.01 to 0.03, depending on the instrument you are trading. Because even if you are trading like gold, they'll still tell you to not use 0.03. They'll tell you don't use more than 0.01, right? Because gold is very volatile. It's very volatile. So they'll always advise that you use low lot sizes. Do you understand what I'm saying? The advice that you use low lot sizes, right, for volatile instruments. In fact, I don't even advise beginners to trade gold, right? The gold is very volatile. It's not beginner friendly. So focus on, um, currency pairs for now. I think that's better. Just focus on currency pairs for now, okay? So that's it. And that being said, I'd like to know, because now we've just done lot sizes, and I want to believe that all of us understand lot size. So when you calculate your pips, which is distance from point A to point B that the market has moved, it is the lot size that you use that now determines how much you make. So while that person was throwing 100 lots, if I use 0.01 in the same trade, by now I would have finished spending my profits. Do you understand? By now I would have finished spending my profit. I'm looking for where the next one is coming from. But for whoever bagged $1 million, because eventually the person closed at $1 million, right? For whoever bagged $1 million, they could have just, if you decided to not trade for a week, Gucci. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I have a
Mhm.
question, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please, is there anything called luck in trading? Let me say maybe I'm so lucky to having a luck in trading. Like maybe I luck I place the, let me say, using the 100 lots.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you get.
Yes,
So
I get.
okay, let me just say maybe risking. Let me say when I'm about to risk $1,000 with 100 lots.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any safer side, something like lock? Maybe okay, let me just risk it.
You see,
Something like gambling.
now you said two different things, and I addressed the two different things. Now, sometimes some things luck, is there luck in trading? The truth is there is. There's luck everywhere. There's luck anywhere. See, there's luck in anything you do, right? There are times when you get to the bus stop, you don't get a bus, right? For another 30 minutes, you are waiting. There are times when, in fact, for example, imagine these travel buses, people at the park. There are times when you go to the park and then the park is loading and it's taking time for your bus to, get filled up. There are times when you get to the same park and then they were just waiting for one person and you just enter and then they move. You see, I was lucky, I didn't waste time at the park. So luck actually exists, cuts across everything. But the question that you should ask me is luck sustainable in trading? Absolutely not. Do you understand what I'm saying? Can you get lucky? Yes. Because again, as a beginner now, if you fund your account and you start to trade, bulk of what is going to be happening to you is luck. Do you understand? Because you don't understand the market itself yet. Maybe except you have a mentor, right? So if you're doing buys or sells, it has sprinkle of gambling because you don't know what you're doing. So what you're riding on is luck. The money that you make from there is luck. The question is, can it be sustained? No. You cannot live life on luck. You get what I'm saying? You cannot live life on luck. So while you might be lucky once, you cannot even be lucky more than once. Or you may be unlucky 10 times. And that's when you not think your village people are at work. Where in the real sense, your village people are not even involved. They don't even know you. Right? That's number one. Now when you now say as lucky as having $1,000 and then using 100 lot size, right? Now that one is not luck. That one is that we're supposed to arrest you. Do you know why? I'll show you why we're supposed to arrest you. The 100 lots, remember that we said the 100 lot size, one pip is what? $1,000, right? That's what we said. 100 lots, one pip is $1,000. Now you have $1,000. You now use 100 lots. Do you know what you are saying? The market must not move one pip against you. Now, I'll now ask you, are you the owner of the market? Is it your own? Tell me. Don't lie. Take mic. Are you the owner of this market that all of us are in? Is it your market? Like what is it? What did your baba tell you that made you think if you press, and I lie you not, if you try this thing, some brokers might be nice enough to tell you not enough money, right? They'll reject that order immediately. The ones that don't have joy will immediately file your order and in less than 3 seconds, right? You in fact you think it's a prank. You will move from 1,000 to 000. You will not have anybody to call and tell your story. That's how sad it can be. So first of all, even if you are trying to be lucky, this here is not luck. This here is that we need to arrest you. We cannot be looking at you. You should be doing something like this. Do you understand? You need help. This one here is help that you need. Now, if you were going to rely on luck, right? Maybe you had a setup that was 20 pips stop loss and maybe 60 pips take profit, right? And you now use a lot size that is appropriate. So let's say if you use, can I do this math? Let's say you now have $20 as capital. I want to use a small figure so that it's easily understood. Now $20 your capital and your setup is 20 pips stop loss, 60 pips take profit. You can see that your take profit is more than your stop loss, right? This is what I mean by maximizing your winning trades and minimizing your losing trades. So when you lose, you only lose 20 pips. When you win 60 pips, 3 times what you risked. Now, if you use 0.1 here as your lot size, right? How much will 20 pips give you? If 0.1 is your lot size, how much will 20 pips give you? 0.1 is one pip, $1. So how much will 20 pips give you? If this market hits your SL, how much will it give you in loss? It may take a bit of time. Are you trying? Is somebody on it? $20 is your capital, right? You use 0.1 lot size that states that one pip is $1, right? 0.1 is not 0.01, 0.1, one pip is $1, right? So if the market moves these 20 pips, how much would you have lost? How much would you have lost? Is anybody trying? Is anybody trying? I know that as you have gone to 100 lots, everybody would have forgotten the small, small, small ones. But it's simple now. It's simple. It's simple. Where's Esther?
200.
S 20, not 200, 20. If one pip is $1, two pip is $2, three pips is $3, four pips $4, five pips $5, $6, $7, $20. That's why I use 0.1, so that it's going to be easy to calculate. It's going to be $20. Now, Olamide, it would have been $2 if you were using 0.01 lot size. 0.01 lot size is the least, right? This one is saying 1 pip, 10 cents. This one is saying 1 pip, $1. So 20 pips, $20, right? So if you now have a 20 pip setup, like, stop loss, and then you now put 0.1, it means that you have risked your entire account. Now you can now be lucky, quote unquote, right? That market doesn't stop you out and it goes in profit. So it doesn't blow your account and it goes to your profit. Now, are you lucky? Yes. Why? Because you risked your entire equity on one single trade. You allowed one trade determine the fate of that account. Did you get what I'm saying? Which is still a bit of gamble, except you initially wanted to risk that $20. Do you understand? Now that's Lincoln, see, that's why, when I came back to 0.1, I understand that it can be like this. So this video is going to be available. Feel free to rewatch. Do you understand me? We just did it a few minutes ago. It's okay to not remember it. It was a lot of figures, I know. Do you get me? It was a lot of figures. Even me, when I was learning it, I did a lot of errors, right? I remember then my first $1,000 account that I was going to trade, I funded. I was like, you know what? This is where poverty ends for me. Let's go. And then all of a sudden, I wanted to use 0.06. I used 0.60. The kind of loss that I immediately saw, there was no saliva in my mouth anymore. Like, when you just press buy and the next thing you can is blood of Jesus. What have I done? That's the next thing I just said, because I made a mistake with this same, so this knowing or mastering this PIP is very, very vital. It's very important. Okay, so the video is going to be available. I need you guys to go over it again, master it for sure. So yeah, and that's like the concluding part of it. Now you know how to make money. We make money from the buying and the selling. No, 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 no. If you are copy trading, you don't need to set your lot size yourself. That's the beautiful part. If you're copy trading, the copy trading has settings. Okay? The copy trading has settings. There are certain settings that protect you as a copy trader. In fact, I think we're going to have a short call on that maybe. Um, um, we're going to have a short call on that just so that I can give you guys clarity. Okay. The copy trading has settings. There's a way you set it such that you're going to have a particular lot size that is just going to be for your account. You can also set it in proportion to the equity. Do you understand? You can also set it in proportion to the equity of the master account as well. Don't worry, all the settings will be revised with you if you want to do a copy trading. All the settings will be reversed with you if you want to do a copy trading. That's not a problem at all. So it's not copy trading is full automation. That's what it is. Once you've copied, go and sleep. That's what it is. It's not like don't no need to come and say, I want to set loss size today. Full automation. Once you copy, rest. The remaining is for one person to trade and the system to split profits. That's all. All right. So that being said, I was just saying recap. Day one, we learned about what Forex is, how we make money in the market from the buy and sell, in fluctuations of exchange rates. Day two, we spoke about the terminologies, bull, bear, all that stuff, and introduce you to the concepts of, pips as well as bid and ask price and spread. That's how the brokers make money. Day three, we've done pips and lot sizes. Now you know that if you are buying a currency like Euro USD, at this price and you're targeting this price, you're just going to calculate the pips in between and know what lot size you are using. Simple like that. Okay, so now you know, like you're not exactly, nobody can come and bamboozle you again. Do you understand? So far so good. From the 1 to 3, I'd like to know if anybody has any questions. From the 1 to the 3. Anybody has any questions from the 1 to the 3? Talk to me. Talk to me now.
No.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anybody with any questions at all from day one to day three? Any questions at all from day one to day three? Talk to me. Any questions at all? Any questions at all? Day one to day three? Anything Forex related that you want, to ask that you need clarity on? For you, no, absolutely amazing. Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? It's okay to ask questions. Now talk to me, ask questions. Any other person? Just ask questions. Feel free, feel free, feel free. No questions, no questions. Amazing. So, if there are no
Do I
questions,
need
then
to pay, sir?
I hear you.
We forex traders, do we need to pay tax from the income we are earning from the forex?
Currently, we don't, but I think that the federal government is about to pass a law that would easily affect, the trading industry from January, right? I think that's the personal income tax or something. I can't remember. I'm going to go through it again. I've been seeing the updates, right? So I'll go through it. I'll read on it so that when I share information with you, it'll be an accurate information. I don't want
Okay,
to.
I just want to know
Yes.
that presently now.
Currently,
Do
we
we?
don't.
Do,
Currently, we don't. Currently, we
we don't.
don't.
Okay,
Yes, we don't. But I
that's
think
very.
I read somewhere about, the government wanting to levy personal income tax, and that could easily be a thing. Okay. So when I
Thank you
read
so
on
much for
it,
that.
yes, when I read on it and I have clarity, I'll share with the class. I don't want to give any, inaccurate information to you guys. That's why. So seeing that, nobody else has any other questions, I'd like to say it has been an honor teaching you guys for the past 3 days, right? I'm happy. Okay, Esther, I hear you. If you have a question, drop it in the chat box. As I was saying, this is where we draw the end to the beginners class. Okay. Intermediate class will continue, but of course, it's a paid class, right? Where we offer so much other value, from technical analysis to live trading sessions to signal services and all that. There's a lot to gain from the intermediate class. Of course, it is paid, because time is money, right? And then this is it's a lifetime skill. Do you get what I'm saying? If it cannot be taken from you anywhere in the world you find yourself, you can easily deploy. Like you see people trading from anywhere in the world, right? That's why if you're following a forex influencer, they tell you to do that. Today I'm in Italy, tomorrow I'm in South Africa, next tomorrow I'm in even, that and that's the beauty of it. That's the flexibility that we want with our lives, right? We want to be able to live life and enjoy life, not just work for money till we die. Do you understand? So, if you are, if you've enjoyed this beginner class so far, and then there's any part of you that wants to further continue the classes with us, the intermediate class is absolutely open. It only costs $100 one-time payment, right? You can leverage on that. Classes span for like 2 months, but priority back to back, training and trading live for 2 straight months, getting the bag, getting our bag up, getting our money right, you know. Yeah, we have that. And then if you're somebody who's also looking for passive investment sources, you can consider copy trading. You control the right to your money. Okay. You have your money is yours. You just leverage on the expertise of the trader to help you trade to profit. Right. So you can use the copy trading services. We're also going to be launching the Signal community, right? The signals are going to be paid, but very, very affordable, very flexible payment methods. We're going to be launching the Signal community wherein if you're maybe a 9 to 5 and you don't have the time to sit on your laptop and constantly analyze, we'll do that for you. We take the burden off you, analyze, send you signals. All you need to do is just take the signals and paste them on your real account, right? To give you instructions on how to manage the trades from time to time. So if you're really looking for making money, if you're looking to make money off this forex industry, Learn Trade Markets is your go-to, right? It's been an honor teaching you guys for the past 3 days. I really do hope that I get to see these faces in the intermediate class and on the copy trading system as well. So Esther, I see your question. Class for the one day two will be uploaded on YouTube. Yes, the one is uploaded already. Team is already working on uploading day two. And right after this class, we're going to be uploading day three as well. All right. So I urge everyone, please, as you engage with these videos, help us like, share, subscribe, so that you can encourage us to come up with more content for you guys from time to time. All right. So again, before we call it a night and ask, do we have any other questions? Any questions at all you want to ask me? Any questions at all you want to ask? All right then. In the absence of no questions, this is where we draw the curtain. All right. So if you have anything, moving forward, any reservations, any inquiries, please reach out to the admin of the community. She's certainly going to be more than happy to answer everything, push it through. Don't forget to sign up with the recommended broker. Even if you're able to fund just $10, get in the action. Do you understand me? Get in the action. Don't be on the sidelines. Don't be on the sidelines. Get in the action. Get in the action. You
Can you
just
hear me, please? Can you hear
okay. I
me?
hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Concerning this thing you drop on the WhatsApp page. Yeah, I downloaded the app. You said we should download it.
The MT4, the MetaTrader 4.
So it has to, yes, it has to direct me to another app again. From Insta Trade, when I registered, then it redirected me to Insta Verify.
Okay, so I think it needs you to verify your account. I think that's just what it needs. So what's going to happen is this. Feel free to share the screenshots with the admin of the group. But probably you're just going to use that as a template to do a screen record maybe and then send to the general community. So everybody that wants to sign up and verify can also just use that template in getting their account verified. You see, most brokers prioritize KYC, right? Because again, this is something that has to do with money. So it's only normal to know the clients that are coming on board your platform, right? So they want you to submit valid ID cards, and all that. Do you get what I'm saying? Even for the safety of your account as well, right? So that's why you need to verify your account. So just share the screenshots that you're seeing with the community admin. She's going to be sure to help you, get your account verified, and then we can even do a screen record and then post to the group. So everybody that is facing the same issues can just have it verified all at once. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. So I'd be guessing that's all.
So, for the coping trading,
Yeah, talk to
what
me.
the minimum deposit we can make
I think for the copy
for the
trading is
coping?
around, yes, I think for the copy trading is around maybe 100, maybe $200 minimum, right? But of course, I've always said it that, you've seen how lot sizing can impact the amount that you make, right? So if you're using, amounts like $100 or $200, you can certainly get a decent return. But again, because trading is not gambling, we're not trying to turn one into a million, all right? We're trying to just make constant, steady returns over time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I can say, oh, 20% returns, but 20% on $100 is $20. Same 20% on $10,000 is $2,000. You see the difference, right? So I think from 100, maybe $200, you can start copying trades, right? But of course, the better the equity, the more money you make. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. All right. So any other questions before we call it a night? Any other questions before we call it a night?
Okay. Good evening.
Thank
Good
you.
evening. Good evening. I hear you.
Sorry. What about the uh, prop firm release that you want to release or want to release to us at the position?
Okay, I think I was just telling you that prop firms, right, that they help traders scale up. But again, you must also know what you're doing because traders, prop firms are looking for traders that are profitable, right? So they test you, you go through a phase one evaluation, a phase two evaluation before they eventually hand you their money to trade for them. All right. So if you're not profitable and you try to trade a prop firm, you're just going to be burning money, right? You're going to just be buying accounts and then filling evaluation stages. So before you even start to leap towards the prop firm, I'd expect that you get proper knowledge. Because listen, let me tell you, again, let me use the biblical reference, right? You can walk a 40 days journey for 40 nights if you decide for 40 years rather, if you decide to take the longer route. If instead of paying for mentorship and learning, you decide to take the longer route of self-study, all the mistakes you would learn from the market will cost you money. The moment you buy where you're supposed to sell, it would cost you money. Money you cannot get back. By the time you calculated the entire money you've lost, you'll be more than what anybody requested for mentorship. At that point, you're already emotionally tired. You are scared. You are drained, right? If you are married, your wife is probably already telling you that you are wasting family's resource. And then the next time you want to fund, you have to make sure the missus doesn't know, so that that is not you, so that that doesn't become your story, right? I'd advise that you leverage on the mentorship. Do this thing once and for all. Do you get what I'm saying? And then when you come on the mentorship, would give you, proper guidance, even as to how to pass the prop firm account. Because even on the mentorship as well, we have people who trade prop firm accounts, as high as $200,000, dollar prop firm accounts, maxing out certain prop firms even at $400,000. All right. So, there's updates in the inner circle. That's all I can tell you. There's updates in the inner circle. Don't sleep on it. There's so much money to be made. Again, as with the other 2 days, I've always told you, internet ways of making money don't last forever, you know. And even if they do, you don't last forever, right? So make the best of your time. Make the best of the time that we have. So, that being said, right, I want to believe that I've been able to answer everybody's question. And again, it's been it's been an amazing 3 days. I hope we've been able to get value. We'll open the group again, right? Just let us know your thoughts, your questions. If you've enjoyed the class, we'd like to hear from you, and the recordings will drop as promised. That being said, thank you all so much for your time. See you when I see you. Take care.